Rachel Morgan was the last person to find out that her family was secretly preparing for a luxurious vacation. But what hurt her most was not being left behind. It was how naturally everyone played their part, as if there were no secret at all. 3 months before that summer, Thomas Morgan gathered the family around the dinner table. He set down his fork, let out a tired sigh, and explained that their financial situation was becoming more difficult than expected. The cost of living had gone up, the mortgage was still hanging over their heads, and this year, any kind of vacation would be an unnecessary luxury. Linda Morgan immediately agreed. She nodded slowly while continuing to prepare dinner. Emily looked disappointed. Jake cracked a few jokes to lighten the mood. Everything felt so natural that Rachel never questioned a thing. In fact, she felt relieved. At least this time, no one would be enjoying a vacation while she stayed behind working. For years, Rachel had been the most dependable person in the family. Whenever Jake ran into financial trouble, she was the first person to send money. Whenever Emily needed tuition for a new course, Rachel never said no. To everyone around her, she was simply the hard-working older sister, who lived modestly and devoted most of her time to her career. What nobody knew was that Rachel owned a substantial stake in a rapidly growing financial consulting company. She had never bragged about it, and she had never used money to create distance between herself and her family. After that dinner, however, something strange began to happen. The family group chat, once filled with constant messages and conversations, suddenly became unusually quiet. Weekend plans were mentioned only in vague terms. Several traditional family gatherings were scheduled earlier than usual. Rachel noticed the change, but she quickly dismissed it, because sometimes the most dangerous thing is not the lie itself. It is when a lie is repeated for so long that it begins to look exactly like the truth. The truth revealed itself on an otherwise ordinary evening. There was no urgent phone call. No accidental confession. Just a photograph. After a long day at work, Rachel sat alone on her sofa, scrolling through her phone before bed. Then she came across her mother's latest post. The album title was simple, The Best Moments of Summer. Rachel tapped on it. The first photo made her freeze. Her father was standing on the deck of a luxury cruise ship surrounded by endless blue water. The second showed Linda smiling brightly beside an infinity pool. The third captured Emily raising a glass in a restaurant overlooking the ocean. The next photo showed Jake riding a jet ski. Then there were more pictures. And more. Dozens of them. A vacation that had lasted several days. A vacation Rachel had never heard a single word about. She didn't stop scrolling. She kept going. And with every image, her heart grew heavier. The conversations from the past several months began replaying in her mind. The money Jake borrowed to repair his car. The professional course Emily claimed she needed tuition for. The family gatherings that had been moved to earlier dates. Suddenly, every scattered piece fit together perfectly. Then she noticed a comment beneath one of the family photos. So wonderful that the entire family could be together for this trip. Rachel stared at those words for a long time. No one corrected it. No one replied. No one mentioned that another member of the family existed. In that moment, she understood something painful. The worst part was not being excluded from the vacation. The worst part was knowing that everyone had been fully aware she was left behind, and not a single person felt the need to explain why. In the silence of her apartment, Rachel slowly set her phone down. For the first time in years, she began looking at her family through a completely different lens. The trust was gone. In its place was doubt. 3 days after seeing those photos, Rachel still had not received a single explanation. No one called. No one apologized. No one even mentioned the trip. It was as if it had never happened. Then one afternoon, her phone rang. The call was from her bank's customer service department. The representative politely asked whether Rachel had recently approved a payment connected to a premium package upgrade on a cruise ship. Rachel fell silent for a few seconds. She had never booked any such service. Then an old memory suddenly surfaced. Years earlier, during a family vacation, she had used her credit card to help secure a reservation when her father ran into spending limit issues. After that trip, no one had ever mentioned removing her payment information. Rachel took a slow breath. Then she gave a simple answer. No. I did not authorize that transaction. The charge was frozen immediately. That evening, Thomas called. His voice no longer carried the confidence seen in the vacation photos online. He insisted it must have been a misunderstanding. Linda, meanwhile, claimed Rachel was making the situation far more serious than it needed to be. But what hurt Rachel the most was not what they said, it was what they never said. No one asked how she felt. No one admitted they were wrong. In their eyes, the only problem was that the payment had been declined. That night, Rachel sat in front of her computer. One by one, she disconnected every shared account, shared payment services, online subscriptions, the financial support she had quietly maintained for years. Everything came to an end. Months later, while walking past a travel agency, Rachel unexpectedly smiled. At last, she understood the truth. Her family had never seen her as part of the memories they were creating. They had simply grown accustomed to having her in the background, paying the bills. And the moment Rachel stepped out of that role, she felt something she had not felt in years. Freedom. If you were Rachel, would you choose to forgive, or would you walk away forever? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more unforgettable family stories filled with drama, emotion, and unexpected twists.